still here in Malta looking for the world's strongest man, and you might not know it, but this tiny island in the middle of the Mediterranean is the 4th most populated country on Earth. But you'd never think so, here in the beautiful city of Medina, known for thousands of years as the Silent City. And that's quite enough quiet.
In the first heat of this year's competition, victory for last year's champion, Magnus Samuelsson of Sweden, and excellent news for Britain, Jamie Barr of Scotland, joining him in 2nd place. And so they are the first 2 men through to the final of this year's Metrex Trophy. Who'll join them from Heat 2?
My name's Steve Brooks. I'm Britain's representative in this heat, and qualifying for the final won't be easy. Jouko Ahola is probably the favourite to win this year's title, champion 97. He didn't like coming 2nd last year, and he's definitely out for revenge. Pieter Bruyn, 5th in last year's final, a great result in his 1st year, and he's even stronger now. Bryan Neese was America's strongest man this year. He's a quiet bloke and takes strength and inspiration from the good Lord. Levi Vaoga, an ex-rugby player, one of the biggest men in the competition, Australia's strongest man and New Zealand sumo champion. René Minkwitz, a bit of a dark horse, big, strong, and coming from Scandinavia, he's someone we've all got to keep an eye on. And then there's me. I was just beaten for the title of Britain's strongest man. This is my first ever international tournament, and I'll be giving everything for Britain.
Well, as ever, 6 events, 6 men, but only 2 will make it through to the final. Now, we didn't have much luck with fishing yesterday, but I gather the reason for that was we were on the wrong side of the boat. You've got to be facing Libya. So while I'm looking towards Tripoli, our 6 strong men are going to be sledging, stone hugging, juggling, slicing, car lifting, and at the end it's a load of chains and anchors and tires and balls. Well, this heat starts down at the historic medieval harbour in Valletta, and our commentator is Paul Dickinson.
René Minkwitz, the first to be introduced to the crowd. A first-timer in World's Strongest Man competition. He's the Danish champion.
From New Zealand.
And the exotic-sounding Levi Vaoga from New Zealand. New Zealand have always produced very tough competitors here.
From South Africa,
Pieter Bryan from Bloemfontein in the Orange Free State from South Africa.
From Finland, Jouko Ahola.
The champion 2 years ago, the runner-up last year, Jouko Ahola from Finland.
From United States of America,
Bryan Neese, another first-timer in World's Strongest Man. One of the strongest men from the USA. And finally, Steve Brooks, a finalist in Britain's Strongest Man. He's going to find this first competition, the whole competition, very tough indeed.
Ready!
That's Douglas Edmonds, the referee, as always, for World's Strongest Man. And first of all, the cannonball down the course and into the sled. It weighs 100 kilos. That's nearly 16 stones, and Jouko Ahola is flying. The sled has already got a sack weighing 100 kilos in it, so eventually the total is going to be over 300 kilos. Now the Maltese cross. The runner-up behind Magnus Samuelsson last year is winning this by a street at the moment. That's another 100 kilos added to the sled, and now they've got to drag it all the way down the course. This is where it gets really hard. Jouko Ahola, he's deceptive. He's a rock-solid 20 stones in body weight. Steve Brooks about the same weight, and he's struggling to get the sled started. On the far side, René Minkwitz, the Dane, is going superbly. He's moving ahead of the Finn. Next to him, Levi Vaoga is creeping up on Jouko Ahola. The Finn is looking across at Vaoga very, very carefully. But it's all about René Minkwitz at the moment. The Dane is leading by about 3 meters, and time is running out for all the competitors. This is going to be a big shock. René Minkwitz has won, Jouko Ahola in second, and I think Steve Brooks is down in about 5th place. A tremendous performance from Minkwitz.
When you look around at some of the big names in strongman, do you think maybe I shouldn't be here?
Oh, not today. 2 or 3 days ago, I think. But I'm quite as strong as these guys, so that's okay.
The weight, it was over 300 kilos, and this I don't know what is the right word, but this floor, surface, it's not very slippery. It was very hard.
Just could not move it at the beginning. It went about 5 yards and stopped again. So it was very heavy.
But how demoralising is it when you look across and see that everybody else is in front of you?
It's not that bad, really. I mean, still 5 events to go.
So 6 points for Minkwitz. Ahola perhaps with a handbrake on, and Brooks knows it's going to be tough. How do you assess this year's competition compared to last year?
I think this is much harder. These events now are real strongman events.
Well, simply glorious weather as Valletta basks in warm Mediterranean sunshine, and you need to be a really strong man to pick up a very big rock. Well, this is the Husafell stone, one of the most traditional of all strongman events. Its origins are actually in Iceland, but this particular stone was manufactured in Scotland under Jamie's directions here. So what do you actually say to the stonemason when he actually has to come to produce this thing?
Well, we ask him for a stone that weighs around 200 kilograms. That's around 34 stones. This one started off at 34 stones, but it's been dropped so many times, it's lost around 20 kilograms, so it's about 3 or 4 stones light.
It's a funny kind of shape, though. Why specifically like this?
Well, it's shaped like Africa, so that it's narrow at the bottom, so you can get your hands underneath and clasp your fingers together. And all the weight's in the top, which is good for balance.
And what sort of athletes does this suit?
Big ones, real big ones.
Look the sword.
Well, this fella is very, very big indeed. Levi Vaoga weighs 21.5 stones. He's never attempted this event before, but basically these guys have got to carry it as far as possible. 180 kilograms. That's nearly 400 pounds. That's just over the weight of a small car engine. Jamie Reeve just behind him, checking. He's there as much for safety as anything else. And Jamie, who won World's Strongest Man himself back in 1989. So, Levi Vaoga makes the turn. That's 40 meters completed. He's looking a little bit shaky. Those forearms and his fingers must be burning now. Jamie Reeves giving him some encouragement, saying, come on, just a little further. The stone is getting lower and lower. Oh, he's losing his grip. It's gone. Levi Vaoga, 53.76 meters. That's going to be tough to beat. And believe it or not, I think he enjoyed it.
Okay. So when you were doing that, you actually had these earpieces in it. Why?
Oh, so I was in my own little world. Otherwise it feels like there's a big open world out there. And it just loses my concentration. But when I got these in my ears, it's just me. And I just go by myself. So we got a deadlift hold. And I might use the Walkman so I can listen to some music.
What music are you listening to?
Marilyn Manson. Yeah. Because he's crazy. And I think I'm crazy too.
And you're thinking they've all got to be crazy to do this. Pieter de Bruyn, 38.7. He didn't fancy it much. But well done to Steve Brooks. A nice round figure, 50 meters bang on. And after him, Bryan Neese, 44.96.
René Minkwitz, surprise winner of that first event. Now, how's he going to get on here? The grip, as we've seen already, so important. He's still trying to beat Levi Vaoga's distance of 53.76. Oh, he's a little bit unsteady already. Actually, Jamie Reeve there had to break out into a jog. Minkwitz is really going for it. The Dane looking comfortable so far, but this turn is difficult. And it does look as though he's losing his grip. Now he's got to go back 14 meters or beyond to go into the lead. He's trying to get it as high on his chest as possible. Approaching 50 meters. He's gone past it. René Minkwitz is in the lead, no doubt about that. How far can he go? That is it, 57.99. Oh, he's absolutely gone. He doesn't know where he is. René Minkwitz guaranteed big points once again. Now then, Jouko Ahola, a very cool, calm, collected customer, this fella. Knows exactly what he's got to do here. Strapping on the knees, strapping on the elbows. Didn't perform that well in the first event, did he? Not for a man who's won World's Strongest Man before, but look at that. He's wrapped his long arms around that rock. 180 kilos, that's a massive weight. You can't even see where he's going in actual fact. So Jamie Reeve is having to tell him, straight, left a bit, right a bit. Now, whoa, just slow down. Ooh, he's gone about 2 meters past the end. Oh, he's going so well. That grip, well, it's only by one finger, but it's over 50. He's heading towards 60, and Jouko Ahola is going to win this by a mile. He's done exactly what he set out to do. The former champion has got maximum points.
I had the impression you could have got to the end if you felt like you wanted to, but you didn't need to.
Yes, because I don't want to kill myself before final. Then I will kill myself if I have to, but not yet.
Kamikaze Ahola in cruise control. He could have carried it all the way to Africa. And Minkwitz doing pretty well though, sticking with the former world champion on 11 points together at the top, and the rest some way adrift. Well, this next event, the Atlas Stones, is also known as the Boulder Dash. Ancient mythology has it that Neolithic man living in the Rift Valley in Africa had to wrench the testicles from a giant mammoth and take them home to prove his manhood. And it's reputed the heaviest ones on record weighed 135 kilograms.
How can he keep a straight face saying that? There are certainly myths and legends, but that sounds like a lot of Boulder Dash to me. Now then, on with the competition. Levi Vaoga, the big New Zealander, up against Steve Brooks, who needs big points here.
Well, I've got to gain some points from somewhere. I'm hoping this will bring some points back.
Is this one of the events that you sort of marked out in advance as being somewhere that you might do well?
Yeah. I'm pretty usually good at stones. I've never tried the 165 though, but I'll give it a shot.
As quickly as possible, those 5 stones on top of the wall at varying heights, the lightest 105 kilos, and Levi Vaoga throws it up on his shoulder. Steve Brooks struggling in the background a little bit, but the New Zealander has gone into the lead. Now come on, Steve Brooks, you do need some big points here to stay in the hunt for one of the top 2 places. Vaonga's got 2 up. Great performance by the New Zealander. That one there weighs 130 kilograms. Now for the 140. Steve Brooks is 1 stone behind. Levi Vaoga just beginning to struggle, but Steve Brooks is too. You've got to get these stones up as quickly as possible. Oh, Steve Brooks has dropped it. That's lost points, valuable lost time. And look at this, 165 kilos. The final stone for Vaoga. That's about as much as a giant motorbike. Vaoga, well, not many people in the world can do the 165 stone. We'll have to wait and see if anybody can in this heat. Brooks, in the meantime, he's got to get this one up, otherwise he's going to get a poor score. That is it for Steve Brooks. Only 2 stones will count. A tremendous effort by Levi Vaoga. He got 4.
So you weigh the same as that last ball?
Basically, yeah.
So it's like lifting yourself?
Yeah, that's how heavy I am.
Don't you can lift yourself on the wall?
I can throw myself up there.
From Finland, Jouko Ahola.
Jouko Ahola, one of the few men in the world that can lift that giant 165 kilo stone. Up against the surprise man in this heat, René Minkwitz from Denmark. They're locked together at the moment on 11 points each.
Ready.
Well, if either one of them can get all 5 stones up, it would be terrific. And look at Jouko Ahola. A little shove and it goes on, but René Minkwitz got his first stone up just ahead of the great Finn. And still, Minkwitz is in the lead. Well, another big surprise in event number 3. Jouko Ahola, though, 2 to go. This one weighs 140 kilograms, 308 pounds, 22 stones, and he made it look so light. And this is where all his experience counts. Can anybody do this? Oh, yes, he can. He's got it. Maximum points for the 2nd time in a row, and we're halfway through this contest, but already things are looking very, very good indeed for Jouko Ahola. Now, come on, René Minkwitz still wants this last stone. I think he's going to end up in 2nd place anyway, ahead of Levi Vaoga. He's had enough. That big stone has defeated even this big Dane, and he recognises another tremendous performance.
I didn't try too hard, too fast, because I saw what the other guy was doing, and that's why I just lift those stones. And if I am in final, now I will do it much faster.
A warning for the rest, but Ahola really is the king of the stones, the only man to lift all 5 there. And that means he's now out on his own, although Minkwitz is doing well to stick with him, and Vaoga is by no means out of it. So, tell us about your career as a champion sumo wrestler.
Yeah, well, I competed about a year ago, and I I won the National New Zealand Champion, and I went from there, but I couldn't get enough sponsorship. So I gave up sumo and went into New Zealand strongman competitions.
Any other reason why you gave up?
Yeah, I just got sick of people throwing sand in my face.
Now, this axe only weighs 12.5 kilograms, and we've all picked up weights like this in the gym at home. So you might think the world's strongest man has no place for an event like this, but...
It's not so easy what you think, because this is a real pain event. You can feel very bad pain on your elbows and shoulders, and in the end the pain is very bad.
So you're leading at the moment. Are you going to overtake him, René?
Maybe. We have to wait and see. If I don't, I'll smack him with the axe.
And so the first strongman to try this, Pieter from South Africa, 2 very good South Africans in this year's competition. Gerrit Badenhorst, a finalist. We'll see him in a later program. Here we go. He's got to keep those arms straight and hold those axes hard up against those electronic contacts. If he comes down just a couple of millimeters, well, the buzzer will sound and his competition will be over. These axes weigh about the same as a case of beer, so next time you go to the off-license, just try holding one in the palm of your hand for as long as possible with your arms straight. You'll know just how hard it is. Pieter, he's got to block out the pain he must be feeling in his shoulders. Great encouragement from the crowd. 40 seconds. This is a very good performance indeed. He needs the points, though. He's off the pace at the moment. It's 50 seconds. It's even better. He's got to try and get big points here. That's for sure. He's finished. It's 55.50.
Tough for the next 2. Steve Brooks of Britain, 42.13, and still well off the pace, the American Bryan Neese, 38.12.
The axe is now being put in position for Levi Vaoga from New Zealand. His very first World's Strongest Man competition, and he's acquitted himself extremely well. The lucky charm around his neck. Hopefully it'll bring him a bit of magic here. Leaning against the pillar, checking his arms are straight. Looks pretty relaxed, but I can tell you, it must be agony. He's only a few seconds into it, but he's shaking already. And his first target will be the time of Steve Brooks, 42.13. Bryan Neese, 38. Well, he's going to get that all right, I think. The American's time has been passed. Now what about Steve Brooks? Oh, that right arm is looking a bit suspect, but the referee says keep going. Oh, it's going up and down, and that is it. Levi Vaoga's time, 48.22 seconds. For the time being, he's in second place. René Minkwitz now, the Dane, just a single point behind Jouko Ahola overall coming into this fourth event. And here's another man with massive arms and shoulders. Most of these guys have got arms about as big as most people's legs. They're about 22 inches around those biceps. He doesn't look as though his arms are perfectly straight. But referee Dougie Edmonds says everything's okay. Just to remind ourselves what sort of targets he's got to go for. The best time in the competition so far, Pieter de Bruyn, 55.50. 25 seconds gone. All that left arm's giving him some trouble. Gritting his teeth. I'm not sure he's going to challenge for the lead, but can he go past Steve Brooks at 42.13? He's hanging on desperately. He's gone past Brooks, but that is it. The left arm gives way. René Minkwitz, 43.59. I'll bet those huge arms are aching now. Oh, they're absolutely massive. And Jouko Ahola, the next to go.
Well, you think it's all just brawn, but there's brain too. Ahola playing the tactical game now. He knows he only needs second place here, so just chats to his mates to pass the time. So De Bruyn gets the 6 points, Ahola gets 5, and Ahola really cruising into the final. The question is, who'll join him there? Will it be Minkwitz or Vaoga? Well, you all know this event, holding the car up for as long as is humanly possible. But the difference this year, for the first time ever, they've got their backs to the car, which means you can see the purgatory the other guys going through too. Now, is this an earplug or a non-earplug event?
This will be an earplug event.
You don't fancy having your Walkman on for this one?
I'd like to have my Walkman, but I won't be able to hear the ref say go, so I'll have to go without my Walkman and stick with the earplugs.
One thing's for sure, this is going to be a battle royal. René Minkwitz, with those lifting straps to help the grip, comes out first. And he's got to try and stare out and lift out the New Zealander, Levi Vaoga.
From New Zealand, Levi.
Now, Vaoga needs a victory here. He's 3 points adrift at the moment of René Minkwitz, who's in second place behind Jouko Ahola. Only 2 men are going to make it through to the final. This, the penultimate event. Well, I think René Minkwitz on the right-hand side looking down at the ground. He's not going to stare out the New Zealander. And you can't see the eyes. You can't see any fear behind those shades either. This car weighs 3/4 of a ton. Just imagine the stress on the shoulders and the arms and the back and the legs. Well, Steve Brooks from England off the pace in terms of the overall points. He recorded 50.32 seconds. And both of these guys looking rock solid at the moment. Referee Dougie Edmonds, even he must be amazed at how strong these guys are. Both first-timers in World's Strongest Man competition. Minkwitz just struggling a little bit. Vaoga, rock steady. Oh, this is fantastic. And this could make the difference between who goes through to the final. Minkwitz growling, trying to psych himself up. This is incredible. The crowd can't believe it either. Vaoga's not even moving. Over 70 seconds, and Vaoga's gone 76.15. Minkwitz 77.38. That was phenomenal from both guys. Absolutely unbelievable efforts there. And dare I suggest it, René Minkwitz looked as though he might have wanted that a little bit more. And he's still got the points advantage over the New Zealander.
So just how much was that hurting at the end?
Oh, that was hurting a lot. My back, I started to bend my back. And then I tried to get it up. And when I get it up, I could see him. He wasn't paying too, so just to hang in, let him go first.
Well, that was a big win for Minkwitz. And as for Bryan Neese, well, he'd had enough after the crucifix event. Ahola through to the final, Minkwitz almost there with him. The gulf between him and Vaoga almost too much to bridge now.
And so it's back to the harbour for the last event, the medley, and a real test for all 5 men left in this competition. Jouko Ahola on the left-hand side, and next to him, René Minkwitz, certainly destined, I'm sure, to go through to the final. But there's a lot of pride at stake here. Jouko Ahola would love to finish with a flourish. The 300-kilogram tyre flipped over twice with ease, and the fin is flying. The cannonball weighs 100 kilograms, 15 stones. Now for the Maltese cross. That's René Minkwitz, bursting with muscles. Oh, he's got a problem, he's dropped it. And that means Levi Vaoga, the New Zealander, has moved just ahead of him. And Jouko Ahola struggling just a little bit. Now on the far side, Steve Brooks is going well. He's up on Levi Vaoga. So England are finishing well. The anchor, 110 kilos. That's 17 stones. Steve Brooks on the far side going well. He's in second place. But Jouko Ahola is going to win this one by miles. Oh, look at that, such confidence. He drags the chain over the line with one hand. The former champions through to the final, and Vaoga's dropped the chain. That means Steve Brooks finishes second, just ahead of René Minkwitz, who gives Jouko Ahola a big hug, and there are the 2 finalists. And finishing in last place, a disappointed Pieter de Bruyn.
But before you came here, though, to Malta, did you think you were in good enough shape to reach the final?
Yeah.
So how do you view your prospects now?
We have to wait and see. I don't want to say anything. He surprised me every time.
Well, he is Jouko, champion 2 years ago. You look in fantastic shape at the moment. Are you feeling as good as you were 2 years ago?
Actually, I'm a little bit stronger and faster, but I was 97. But I think this final will be much harder, what it was 97. But there is a good event for me, and I think I can do well.
Of that you can be sure. So Ahola wins that event, and a good result for Steve Brooks. He'll go away in a happy mood after that. But Ahola and Minkwitz are the 2 men to make it through from Heat 2. And waiting for them in the final of the Metrex Trophy, Magnus Samuelsson and Jamie Barr. Jouko looking in great shape, and an awful lot of people who know about these things reckon that you are the man who's going to win this and actually retain the title you won in 1997. I have to tell you, actually, I had a pretty good day myself, actually, because I went out fishing for part of the day, and I got so a really great fish. Really into him, bit by bit by bit. And just for a moment, I really...
The next round is at court.
I'll be back.